Okay, first let's say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Gakudash. I'm going to give double honor to the elders, apostles, and teachers, great minister, and learning the truth. And I'll say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm going to send it. Well, there's this video, I think it was Elder Manat Zakba, South Carolina. But there's this video of this Edomite that was given a exhortation to his pale-skinned brethren. Pretty much going into the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And you have a lot of Edomites that are quite upset about the fact that you had this guy that just knocked off Kirk. But you already know everybody already know what that likely is, right? He was associated with them people. Already knows. But it was that was just to incite violence and what's going on. But the guy was given and he mentioned how his ancestors, their ancestors, came from the caves. They were 1,000 years of greatness, 1,000 years of warriors, which built this great country. The whole thing. But you have a lot of Edomites that are, they're being renewed in that ancient Edomite warrior hatred, fucking conquering spirit. And you have a lot of these niggas, if not all of them, have that hatred for Jake. Because you have a lot of people who are upset about that little Edomite Ukrainian bitch getting stabbed up by that Jake, which was another setup when you look into it. But Esau's hatred and his fangs are I'm not going to say they're going to be turned on Jake, because they always were, but that hatred that the Lord put in Esau, the Lord he's loosening his the grip on his leash that he has on Esau. That's the best way I can say that. And you see that with Trump bringing in the military and National Guard, and all these different things happening in order to give him cause to bring in the National Guard. Because there's this one Jake that was going into how a lot, you have these gang members that are starting all this crazy shit, that they're paid mercenaries. The agents gone in to start gang violence and start gang wars and start all this crazy shit. Brought to you by the bloody man himself. But this is why we constantly harp on the faith and belief in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, because it's something that we need. And the majority of our people, they don't understand how truly dire the situation that we find ourselves in is. Behind them enemy lines, the average. I was just watching this video with the Jake was running away from this nigger bitch, and they were both winded. There was some just nigga shit going on, but they weren't running for that long, maybe for 45 seconds, and especially the Jake, he was winded, and it seems like he was a skinnier Jake. But the average Jake, the most they have is a few haymaker swings, getting lucky on knocking the nigga out. Because y'all know how street niggas fight. They don't have any type of skill. They don't lean back and wait for an opening. They just swing and hope somebody gets hit with something so the nigga can drop and they can stomp him the fuck out. Or they'll shoot you. But you have these stupid YN niggas who believe that they're strong because they're preying on the young, weak, and elderly. But you have Esau, which have, that Esau is patriotic. He has that patriotic spirit. And they're foaming at the mouth to kill themselves some niggas. And once again, that's what he wants to do. He wants to destroy our people. From the average trailer park trash nigga to the nigga wearing a suit up at the damn top of the Edomite food chain. They all have that hatred for our people. And a good example of that is police violence. A lot of Jake bring that shit on themselves. But you have a lot of other Jake that don't, that get their asses handed to them because of the police is just being an asshole. But in every instance, that policeman, that Edomite policeman, is waiting to do something to Jake. You know? Whether it was brought on by the Jake or not, that policeman will jump at the opportunity. But this is Genesis 25 and 23. And Lord, and you know, I'm probably going to name this video something along the lines of how the hatred will never be rid. That enmity that's between Jake and Esau is never going to be rid. You know, even if it doesn't matter how many white bitches you fuck, it doesn't matter how many, you know, how many Jake women are bed wenches for Edomites. That hatred is always going to be there. And now you see that division more and more going on more and more. And it's only going to increase. It's not going to stop, because this is how things always was. You know, nations were always divided. Sure, you may have had them, you know, getting in deals with each other, but nations, they've always had their own lands, they always had their own doctrines, their own philosophies. And there's this KKK member that had mentioned how you can't have a bunch of people in one place from different walks of life, from different, you know, believing in different creeds, believing in different religions and different things and different ways of life, and coexist. That's not realistic. That can't happen, because eventually, you know, something is going to conflict with something else. And even if you try to give people a whole new universal belief, for example, in America, do as thou wilt. You know, everybody has their own little beliefs and whatnot, but the common creed in America is for everybody to, you know, be faggots, to do whatever you want, to, you know, to be a crash out, to be a weirdo, you know, to do whatever the fuck you want. But under that, everybody has their own, you know, you have people that are more left-leaning, people that are more right-leaning, libertarian, all these different, you know, political denominations, all these different things. Some people believe in communism. Other niggas believe in, I think Marxism is, there's a whole bunch of other fucking shit under that, but capitalism, no, communism, capitalism, different as a spectrum. But some people believe in communism, some people believe in capitalism. Some people believe that, hey, that the majority should, the strong and powerful should take care of the less fortunate. Other people believe, fuck the less fortunate. You know? But there's always going to be some type of clash. And just like with Jacob and Esau, there's always going to be that clash. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And even when you go back into the garden, I'm going to get that in Genesis 3, but I'm going to go into the word manner. Two completely different types of people. Just going to go into the word here. A people, nation. You know, 2 different nations. And I think, let me see if I want to go back here, because I remember reading in the blue letter, it mentioned 2 completely different types of people. But you get the gist. 2 completely different types of people are in their womb. One of them, you know, that beast man. Another one, plain man dwelling in tents. You know what? Let me, if I can find that. So many people shall be separated from thy bowels. Separated. And once again, that enmity between the serpents, woman seed and serpent seed, going in, you know, trickling down into Esau and Jacob. And this is back at the garden. So that division was already set. You know, that division was already set back then. So magically now everything is just going to get fixed. Well, I won't say fixed, because nothing was never really broken. But everything that's going to change now, just magically. That's not how that works. It doesn't matter how many of you damn old ass nigger pastors fucking try to coon and shit and put up pictures of white Jesus. They fucking hate you. And the majority of our people are going to have to learn the hard fucking way. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And once again, it was prophesied that Esau was going to be our slaves for eternity. Verse 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And when you think of the caveman, what do you, because like Esau called us monkeys, but when you think of caveman, who do you think of? You think of what's that shit? That, you know, human Darwinism, human evolution from monkeys, which is honestly funny, because what? People will look at Jake as monkeys. But when you look at Darwinism and human evolution, which is complete bullshit, but just looking at that, because it's something Esau pushes out himself, the cavemen evolved from monkeys. And who was put up as a caveman? You don't see any black cavemen running around. You see Edomite cavemen. And what did those cavemen, those fucking monobrow or unibrow niggas evolved from? They evolved from monkeys. Esau's the real monkey. You see him climbing on rocks and shit. I was watching this video from a brother that was going to how there's this Edomite bitch that was running on all fours through the damn jungle with a smile on her face. That's what Esau is. You know, that fucking it was a brother from Hawaii. But they're animals, and that's something he said. These Edomites are just animals. That's their nature. They're animals. Why do you think so many of them like all these different types of crazy fetishes and shit? Like you got the whole thing with fucking a CEO of a company paying the damn escort to put him in a fucking leash and walk him around on all fours. You got niggas, men, whether in these higher paying sectors or job occupations, suit and tie, well spoken, behind closed doors, this nigga's getting bent over and pegged, or he's in the corner beating off Adam 22 while Sir Dix-a-Lot breaks down this woman. They like eating their meat fucking rare, blue. They're animals. Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man. Going to plain, it means perfect, complete. One that lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, sound, wholesome, a ordinary, quiet sort of person. And you know, obviously, Jake, they really want to do is chill out, get a couple women, and chill. That's the spirit of Jake. Now they're enticed by Esau to do all this other shit, but that's the spirit of Jake. And this is what I really wanted to get: complete, morally innocent, having integrity, morally innocent, one who is morally and ethically pure. And that Edomite mentioned how they were the good. That nigga, he was mentioning how his people were good. They were the pure ones. They were the innocent ones. While citing how his ancestors and his forefathers were warriors and they built up their country and they created all this innovation. But what he left out was how they created all of that innovation. The millions upon billions of people that his forefathers completely decimated, raped, robbed, murdered, and destroyed beyond human reason. That's what he forgot. That's what he left out. Yet he's just innocent, moral person, and he proudly stands on the bones of those people upon which his great country was built. with no shame. But that's how they feel. They don't feel as though they've done anything wrong. They don't feel that when that destroying Jake that they're doing anything bad. They love it. They revel in it. And that's the point I want to get into. Once again, the hatred will not be rid. That division will always be there. And ultimately, it's going to have to come down to whoever, because like no kings can sit on a single throne. It's going to come down to whoever wants that throne, whoever wants that crown, the scepter the most. And the so-called white man, he's fucking gunning for it. And you see that with this whole expedition, the expediting of his technology. We had UK where that digital ID was mandated for all adults to work, which is going to lead into the tortilla, the Revelation 13 to 16. Because if they can mandate something like that, well, what else can they mandate? What else are they willing to mandate? What else do they want? Isaiah 14 and 14, they want to be like God. And the last thing that they don't have is complete domination over man. And the way they're going to get that is that chip. And they're willing to destroy and murder, lie, steal, cheat, and kill as much as necessary and as much as their palate can handle to get there. But you have Yahweh Shemel Shai that's willing to crush his enemies as well. Like Conan said, crush your enemies. See them driven from before you and take their women. That's what this nigga wants to do. That's what it's going to have to come down to. And I'm not like advocating for us to do anything. The Lord is going to, like Exodus 14, I think it's 14:14. The Lord is going to he's going to be the one to fight our battles. As you currently see him taking down America, dismantling this place brick by fucking strategically placed brick. But that's what Esau is on he's on the king's campaign. And his chief enemy that he looks at as his chief enemy is our people, which is why so many of his efforts have been aimed at destroying our people. From what they say, from the rooter to the tutor. In every aspect of life is meant to destroy our people. You know, this is part of the, this is what, the prophets have been telling our people about. But obviously, our people, something that brother mentioned is how the vast majority of people, especially the vast majority of people, never listen until it's too late. But then, that feeling of things being too late, that's a horrible fucking feeling. 'Cause I'm sure we've all been in different situations where we may have waited for something, or may have been procrastinating until something happened, and then it was too late, and then we had to deal with the consequences. Well, this isn't something you want to procrastinate on. That's why scriptures say, seek the Lord early, while he may be found. Because just like with Noah and the ark, Noah was preaching for 120 years. People had ample time. But what did they do? The very same thing they're doing now. They talk shit. They party. Until it started raining. Because before that flood, there was never rain before. So they got that feeling in their stomach. That, oh shit, what's going on? But then when the Lord had sealed up that door, they were just asked to fuck out screaming. And there was nothing they could do. And this is the very same situation. Proverbs 8 and 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. And those that are sincerely, seeking the Lord are going to find them. Lord willing, those that are seeking them are part of that number. We're part of that number. The elect are going to find salvation and protection under the wing of Yahweh Shemel Shai. But everybody else on the outside, what's going to happen to them? Proverbs 1:28. Then shall you call upon me but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, did not choose the fear of the Lord. They will none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. But I'm going to jump up. 25. But yet sought not all my counsel, with none of my reproof. I'll also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear comes. And the only thing that's in between us and death is Yahweh Shema Shai. Now imagine, the Lord just allowing somebody to them calling on them, but he's just sitting there and allowing them to to be taken by whatever judgment he has set for them. That's a horrible fucking thing. And it's it's going to be caught, and people are going to, like Scripture said, then shall they know their prophet has been among them. People are going to know that they turned them, especially Jake. Really, Jake is going to know that they turned their nose up at the prophets. That there have been men there have been talking about this, and you see a bit of that now with there's been a little trend of some women going around talking about how people need to apologize to the Hebrew Israelites because the Israelites were right. Great Millstone was right, and not just in and of itself, but because those are the men that the Lord deals with. They're right, but the vast majority of our people still think it's all fun and games. Until the so-called white man pulls out that fucking sword and gets to chopping off heads. This is Sirach 10 and 12. 12 and 10? 12 and 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And that's what the prophets are telling you to don't trust this nigga. Just keep going down, to always keep an eye on him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know his rust has not altogether been wiped away. There's gonna come a point where Esau's gonna take off that that hat and that suit. He's gonna reveal those wings and those horns. And all this time, this nigga has been going around acting like, diversity, inclusion, like he loves black people. He has black friends. Yet in his heart, he's always had that hatred that he's had to suppress. And now you see him, the Lord, once again, loosening his grip on that leash. And, and Esau no longer having to suppress that rage and that anger and that hatred. It's always been there. It's just been suppressed. It never changed. Once again, that division, that separation, that hatred between our people, the hatred will not be rid. And our people are going to learn the hard fucking way, in a really hard way. Because now it's not just swords and arrows and fucking cannons. You got artificial intelligence. You got robots. You got mad scientists. You got surgeons that want to strip your damn melanin. Esau has a damn near infinite number of ways to destroy a human. And Lord's going to allow this nigga to do just that. But the only ones who are going to be safe from that are the elect. But the 2/3, the rest of these niggas, they're going to have to go through that because they didn't want to listen. But just listening to that little speech that he gave, the Edomite anthem, which the national anthem is a fucking war song, by the way. Star Spangled Banner, for those of y'all who don't know, it's a fucking war song. But that little speech, because you have a lot of Edomites that want to destroy Jake, but they can't yet. But just like, the message continue to goes out. As time goes on, it's more and more proof is going to be shown that we're the true prophets. That the word of the Heavenly Father isn't void. It's not bullshit. You should just turn your nose up. It's something that's going to affect the world, everything. It's going to affect everything. But hope it's edifying. Y'all praises going on. Yahweh Shem Ashah, Bashem Dr. Dash, the ones other positive teacher, with Mills for truth. Shalom to hope like Israel, instruction down on Great America.